then I don't know how else to explain it to you. Those things are what happened. Those are things that are truthful, true statements. So, what else is there to do to make you maybe understand why we see the things, or why I see that there is some kind of something going wrong here? And really, if it was nothing done wrong, right? There was not a single thing done wrong, then why hasn't it been proven that there hasn't been any kind of tampering or corruption from the other side of all of this? That's my biggest thing. As of right now, that's my biggest thing, because I don't understand it. I don't understand how it can be a for sure thing on one end that it didn't happen, but yet not have proof that it didn't. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not saying that it did happen, but I'm saying something's fishy. Something doesn't add up. Somebody had something going on. Whether it's DT's side or it's JB's side. And that's where I end up having the biggest conflict of all of this. Why is it that we have to pick a side? Why do we have to pick a one side? Do you understand that we all are one, right? Like, there should not be a side to any of this. That's where a lot of my my compassion, maybe my passion for, maybe it's better to say it that way, my passion for the convention of states to happen and for it to flourish and grow. Not that I would particularly participate in the officials' positions, because honestly, I don't have the time, the energy to even try to do that at this point in time in my life, career path, whatever you want to say, because of these shows that I'm obligated to do. And then not only that, but you add in the top of me going back to school and learning my craft, my trade, to become better at it. So there is not very much time left within a day for me to try to even step up and do that. But it is something that I support. I would wholeheartedly fight for them, protest for them, whatever, not technically, like, physically, but you know what I'm saying. Like, I'd stand there and be like, this is what I want, this is what I'd vote on. I'd vote them in, put it that way. And I believe that each and every one of us ought to see that. And we gotta quit labeling which side we're on. Because here's the thing. None of you, and if you are, something's probably wrong, because half of the Democrats and half of the Republicans think the opposite way than what their party does. And then half of them think the way the party does. Like it just, there is conflict in their beliefs, their passions, their points that they, or their narrative that they try to follow, or their agenda that they try to push upon you. They conflict each other in a way that there's no way that you 100% go with the exact way that they label themselves. You just can't. It's impossible. Because they lean towards the left, they lean towards the right so much that there is no true north to who they are. To be a Republican means what exactly? And that's exactly my point. What does it mean? Doesn't mean jack. The same as a Democrat doesn't mean jack anymore. We don't need those parties. What we need is a party, a group, a organization, a whatever you want to call it, that is strictly for the people. So I got a solution to it. I do. I got a solution to where most of the federal and state people don't really do much of anything anymore. You don't have those positions. You have a few of the bigger ones, your main ones. And then you probably have a ton of IT. Because my thing is, let's take advantage of what we have in front of us resource-wise. So resources, we have what that is abundance. Everybody, almost everybody, has either a smartphone or they have the availability to have internet, Wi-Fi, or to get on it through either your local libraries or local restaurants got free Wi-Fi. So there's free internet right there. You just gotta hook your phone, tablet, laptop up to their Wi-Fi and you got internet. Okay? Pretty simple, right? So everybody has access to this internet, this World Wide Web. So we take that and we use it. So every person that has a social security number and is a resident and I don't know what else it was. There was a third one. Anyways, you give those people a profile. Just a plain profile. Set it up. Just need a name, date of birth, some kind of identification by the government, and that's it. with that, you set up a website. On this website, anything that wants to be passed as a bill or anything that wants to be made law or a rule, you, the government, officials that are still there, and whatever helpers they have to do this, take these bills, laws, rules that you're wanting to impose or propose this documentation to the people by putting it on their profile. Like, the person signs into their profile, then they go to the site, they see whatever these bills are, do it every quarter, start at the beginning of the quarter, nothing can be submitted last month of the quarter, so you got at least 2 months to evaluate and read the document and come up with a yes or no. And we vote at the end of each quarter. The tally is took on whether it passes, it becomes law, it becomes a rule, it becomes a whatever, or it doesn't pass and it fails. And somebody that wants to maybe rewrite a bill or a proposal, maybe you give them a certain number of chances of rewriting this and proposing it. Now, if there is a way to flip that, so you don't want it to be just one-sided, right? And it's really not, because you're letting all the people do that. But say you have people that just cannot have those resources whatsoever. How can they have a voice? They can, one, show up in person with a way to identify themselves as a resident of the United States to any of your state, local, governmental facilities, and they there can access the information and make an educated guess on what they want, either a yes or no, and put in their vote. It's that simple. Now, I know I don't have to have credit for this, because I really don't. And honestly, it doesn't even matter if it's ever said anything about me coming up with this, because that's fine with me. My thing is I want you to take that general idea right there and warp it, mold it into existence on however you have to, because that's a rough outline, and there's very many more in detailed things that have to be figured